This is the L2C Media Network on YouTube, and this is Sports Final with Steve the Baxman Baxley, brought to you by the L2C Media Network. And now, he's glad Michigan is getting back to normal, but he still has to ask, define normal. Our boy who makes the headlines for the details in the world of sports, here's Steve. Hey, thank you very much, Harry. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to our little show. Give me a moment to punch up our little script du jour here. Yes, friends, we're going to try, like we've done the previous actually 3 times, is get a complete show in. Anyway, tonight, somewhat of a, I'm going to say it, strange show. Why? Believe it or not, it's sort of a day in sports. Most of the actions on the West Coast. Thank you. So, without further ado, we don't have a monologue tonight, as usual, although we usually would give you what's coming up on Nick Ricada's stream tonight. Well, something's gone a little gafunga. So there won't be a live broadcast tonight on Nick's stream. He's going to have something coming up that will explain everything and anything therein. But right now, so we'll try to bring you a little ad. I don't know what, but it's going to be interesting. Let us pray. Okay, let's get over to Major League Baseball action, get you to all the scores. And by the way, all the scores, and Harry, we got to start mentioning this, all the scores for all the games that we bring you tonight, or that is scheduled, everything that we bring you tonight is courtesy of our friends over at William Hill Sportsbook. Remember, much like life itself, we're going to make it, their motto is, let's make it interesting. Okay, so we shall. But we're also going to make it, what, kids? Responsibly. Except for this program, which, let's face it, is somewhat irresponsible. But right now, let us kick things off, as always, with the games that are still going on as we speak. Like, for example, the top of the 9th inning, Cincinnati Reds lead the San Diego Padres by a score of 4-2. We're going to call it. We're going to call it a final score. Reds over the Padres. Miracle happens. Top of the 8th inning, Brewers over the Colorado 7-3. In the mid 7th, it is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim leading the Detroit Tigers to the bottom of the 5th inning. Tampa Bay Rays over the Seattle Mariners 3-2. Let's go now to the finals. That way, everything will be back to normal. Cleveland Indians swamped the Baltimore Orioles 10-3, 10-13-1 for the Indians. 3-8-0 for the Orioles. Winning pitcher for the Indians was Stefan. He's 1-0. Lopez, it's a loss. He's 2-8. Players of the game, Chang for Cleveland, third baseman, went 2 for 4, got 2 runs, a homer, and 4 RBIs. Stefan, also for Cleveland, the pitcher, 1 2/3 innings, no hit, no earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and no walks. San Francisco Giants beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 10-3, 10-15-1 for the Giants, 3-5-0 for the Diamondbacks. Gosman for the Giants, he gets the win. He's 8-1. Gallen for the Diamondbacks, he's now half gallon. He gets the loss. He's 1-2. Casale, the San Francisco catcher, gets player of the game nods. He's went 3 for 5, 2 runs, a homer, a triple, and 4 RBIs. Gausman, the San Francisco pitcher, went 8 innings, gave up only 4 hits, 2 earned runs, got 6 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Yankees beat the Blue Jays 8-4, 8-11-0 for the Yanks, 4-10-2 for the Blue Jays. Green gets the win for the Yankees. He's 1-4. Castro gets lost for the Blue Jays. He's 1-2. Stanton, the designated hitter for the Yankees, went 2 for 4, 2 runs, a homer, a double. 2 runs, a homer, 2 RBIs, and a walk. And Urshela for the Yankees, the shortstop, 3 for 5, 3 runs, a homer, double, and 2 RBIs. There's your players of that game. Chicago Cubs beat the New York Mets 2-0, 2-4-0 for the Cubs, 0-2-1 for the Mets. Hendricks for the Cubs with the win. He's 9-4. Stroman for the Mets with the loss. He's 6-5. Stroman is one of the players. In fact, Stroman and Hendricks are the players of the game. Stroman was pretty good. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. Hendricks for Chicago, 6 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Atlanta Braves over the St. Louis Cardinals, 4-0, 4-8-0 for the Braves, 0-3-0 for the Cards. Morton heard a who, and it was an Atlanta Braves who. They got the win, 6-3 is his record. Gant got the loss for the Cards, he's 4-5. Morton not only heard a who, but is one of the 2 players of the game. 7 and 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts, no walks. Heredia, the left fielder for Atlanta, went 2 for 3, 2 runs, a homer, double, RBI, and a walk. Astros of Houston. The Houston Astros defeated the Chicago White Sox by a score of 10-2. 10-8-0 for the Astros, 2-4-1 for the White Sox. Urquidy got the win for the Astros. He's 5-3. Cease. He desisted. He's 5-3. Urquidy for Houston, the pitcher, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. Toro Hernandez, the Houston third baseman, 2 for 4, 2 runs, a homer, and 4 ribs. And there is that, and that is thus therein. All right, let's keep our motors running and go straight to the NBA playoffs. Only one game to give you for staying with us. In that game, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets. Milwaukee Bucks beat the Brooklyn Nets by a score of 104-98 to force a Game 7 in their series. That'll be on Saturday night, I do believe. Game series time, of course, 3. Okay, let's go from there to the NHL. Only one for the NHL. You're kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. No, I'm not kidding. No, I'm not kidding. Nope. The Tampa Bay Lightning, the defending Stanley Cup champions. Sorry if I keep saying a lot. My apologies. The Stanley Cup, the defending Stanley Cup winners, the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, beat the New York Islanders 2-1, take a 2-1 series lead. Your 3 stars were Vasilevsky for Tampa, 27 saves, point for Tampa Bay, goal, and Clutterbuck for the Islanders, 1 goal. We have a lot of news to get to, so that's it for the playoffs. We'll talk golf. We'll talk golf in a minuet. Right now, let's get you to some NHL hockey news, and this concerns the, as we like to call it, the Steel Chicago Blackhawks. Now, I guess we might as well just call them the Chicago Blackhawks. Chicago Blackhawks executives are being accused of ignoring sexual assault allegations against former Blackhawk coach from two former players, according to a report from Rick Westhead of Canada's TSN. The accusations come from a lawsuit that an unnamed former Chicago player filed last month in an Illinois court, with further details coming from the court. The players informed then skills coach Paul Vincent about their allegations against video coach Brad Ulrich, who is named in the lawsuit. McDonough, Vice President of Hockey Operations Al McIsaac, General Manager Stan Bowman, and team sports psychologist James Gary, and implored them to contact the police. The request was reportedly denied. In addition to being sexually assaulted on separate occasions, the player referred to as John Doe in court documents accuses Aldrich of sending, quote, inappropriate text messages, and, quote, and threatening him physically, financially, and emotionally if he did not engage in sexual activity. The Blackhawks denied comment to TSN about the story because of the case being ongoing, and the organization's lawyers said that the case should be dismissed because of statute of limitation laws. Aldrich remained on the Blackhawks through the 2010 season and was even able to get a photo with the Stanley Cup. Afterwards, he eventually made his way to a Michigan high school's hockey team. He was convicted of criminal sexual conduct in October 2013 in a case involving a 17-year-old player, and is now a registered sex offender in the state after 9 months in prison and 5 years probation. Court records show that the unnamed ex-Blackhawk player accuses the organization of serving as a reference for Aldrich during his future employment search, which led him getting the job at the high school. Wow. Okay, and apparently Mavericks are not only seeking a coach, but now a GM. That's right, it's been a pretty eventful week for the Dallas Mavericks. It started with an explosive report inside the power struggle of the front office, and it peaked with the departure of Coach Rick Carlisle on Thursday, as well as the firing of longtime general manager Donnie Nelson on Wednesday after 24 years with the franchise. For a team that isn't known for making a ton of personnel changes over the years, it's been one bombshell after another as the Mavericks suddenly look like a total dysfunctional bleep mess. In regards to Carlisle, it's been reported that there were, quote, simmering tension, end quote, between him and franchise centerpiece Luka Doncic. And if he were to return next season, he likely would have been on the hot seat, per Tim McMahon of ESPN. Carlisle is undoubtedly the best coach in the history of the franchise, bringing their only championship in 2011 and consistently playing fairy godmother to a roster full of pumpkins. And might as well say babysitter for a bunch of multimillionaire babies. For the better part of the past decade. But it's been reported that Carlisle's decision may have had something to do with the firing of Nelson, who he's had a close relationship with spanning 4 decades. The Dallas Morning News' Brad Townsend reports. Although it was reported by the Mavericks that Nelson and the team agreed to part ways amicably, quote unquote, the Tim Cato of The Athletic and Sam Amick, also of The Athletic, both report that he was fired rather unceremoniously too. They both detail how Nelson was concerned about the amount of influence Lobos Vulgaris, the team's director of quantitative research and development and former professional gambler, had in regards to personnel moves. When Nelson brought those concerns to team owner Mark Cuban, his fears were never assuaged, and Vulgaris continued to gain more power, according to Cato and Amick. But while Carlisle and Nelson have been instrumental in keeping the Mavericks from being a perennial lottery team, it can't be ignored that Dallas also hasn't won a playoff series since hoisting Larry O'Brien Trophy 10 years ago. So perhaps a new voice in the locker room and front office could get this team over the hump. However, the kind of dysfunction that's been reported in Dallas over the past few days certainly is not ideal for a team entering a pivotal offseason with the goal of building a championship contender around Doncic. Speaking of their franchise star, Thursday morning, this is what he said about Nelson's ousting before Carlisle stepped down. Quote, "It was kind of tough to me," said Doncic, who's in Slovenia with the national team. "I really like Donnie. I've known him since I was a kid, and he was the one that drafted me. It was tough for me seeing that, but I'm not the one making decisions here." Well, that's an understandable reaction from Doncic, who was scouted by Nelson at 15 years old, so nothing too concerning there, right? Well, it's certainly not great. The Mavericks reportedly made the decision to cut bait with Nelson on Sunday, according to McMahon, so it's rather odd that no one within the brain trust informed the most important player on the team of the decision, especially when he's had a good, long-standing relationship with Nelson. Interesting. Think about it. Now, it's not time to sound any alarms in Dallas yet, because Doncic is reportedly still planning on signing his rookie max extension this summer that is worth north of $200 million over the next 5 years. And while this whole debacle will probably not have an impact on him signing on the dotted line, it certainly should be a wake-up call for a franchise that's just been hovering around mediocre for the past decade. This isn't post-2011 Dirk Nowitzki, who was satisfied when he won championship and riding out the rest of the career in Dallas with no real chance of reaching that mountaintop ever again. Doncic and the Mavericks haven't won anything yet. There's no guarantee he'll stay in Dallas forever. Now, this is a good problem to have because Mavericks could be in a far worse situation without generational talent on the roster. But they have to make sure they don't fumble the bag in this situation. Perhaps that starts with hiring a new coach with whom Doncic supports, such as current assistant Jamal Mosley, who emerged as an early candidate for the position. We'll keep you informed. Wow. Okay. Hey, in that Yankees game that we were all talking about, or that we gave you the final score for, the Yankees turned the first 1-3-6-2-5-6 triple play in MLB history on Blue Jays' bad base running. In the first inning of Thursday night's series finale against the Blue Jays, the Yankees made franchise history and Major League Baseball history when they turned their second triple play of the season. Trouble started when Marcus Semien appeared to get frozen between third and home after Michael King was able to pounce on Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s weak ground at the third base side of the mound before throwing to DJ LeMahieu at first. King also appeared to give Seaman a quick look, which may have contributed to that hesitation. Meanwhile, Bo Bichette was hard on his way from second to third and back at first. LeMahieu noticed this developing situation. He flipped at shortstop Gleyber Torres, and the run down to Bichette began. Seaman then opted to make his way toward the plate, but didn't really commit to the act, and so the focus shifted to him. He got tagged out by Gio Urshela on the throwout from Gary Sanchez, and then Urshela hustled the ball to Torres for a tag play on Bichette, who tried to make it third during the chaos. The out call on Bichette was upheld on review. And hey, LDG, how you doing? Greetings, my friend. Greetings. Ooh. So that was the first 1-3-6-2-5-6 triple play in MLB history. And as Sarah Langs notes, it's also the first time in franchise history that the Yankees have turned two triple plays in a single season. No team since the 2016 White Sox has turned three triple plays in a season. Coincidentally, the Yanks' first triple play of the season, May 21st, against the White Sox. Womp womp. All right. Let's get you one more little notation. Late in the Phoenix Suns' win over the Denver Nuggets in Game 3 of their playoff series, a Suns fan was involved in a fight that resulted in the fan punching a Nuggets fan several times. Following the fight, the Sun fan screamed, Suns in 4 as a Nuggets fan vacated the area. The entire situation was caught on video and quickly went viral. As such, Suns guard Devin Booker tweeted out that he was trying to find out the identity of the fan who yelled, "Suns in 4!" According to Zach Lowe of ESPN. Booker's representative at CAA were able to find the fan, Nick McKellar, and Booker has given him a signed jersey along with tickets to a conference final game. In interviews following the altercation, McKellar revealed that he engaged in some good-natured trash talk with Nugget fans that were sitting near him, but claims he was only defending himself when the melee broke out. As of right now, the police have not been involved in the situation. Oh, goody. Yes, goody. LD of Geeks Enjoy, parlez-vous. LDG of Geeks Enjoy, parlez-vous. It's great to have you here in chat. Everybody scream and shout. Ha-dee-hee-ho, ha-ho, hey-ho. All right. McCullough will get a cheer on his Suns against either the Clippers and or the Utah Jazz. Despite Kawhi Leonard suffering a serious knee injury mid-Game 5, the Clippers still came away with a win on Wednesday night and lead that series 3 games to 2. So we will find out if it's going to be tweeted you out, sir. Thanks for the great work, boss. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you, brother. A little schwa to you too, my friend. Little schwa to you too, maison. All right. It is, by the way, 57. We're 3 minutes away from hitting the gong of midnight at the Oasis. We can't even play the song, but I can sing a little bit of it. Midnight at the Oasis. Oh, not time yet. So gotta wait on that for a little bit. Yes. Let's get you some golf. Yes, we're going to talk golf now. CLDG of Geeks Enjoy tweeted you out, sir. Thanks for the great work, boss. We try. All right, folks, here we go. If you missed Jeopardy, or if you were watching your NBC affiliate across the country that usually would air Jeopardy and or Wheel of Fortune during the 7 o'clock, what they call prime time hour, you were disappointed to find no, not the latest guest host on Jeopardy or Pat and Vanna on Wheel, but golfers. Yes, the U.S. Open started at NBC, has it fully covered with live coverage from 7 o'clock till 11, Thursday and Friday, obviously on the nights. Of course, daytime, you'll watch it on the Golf Channel. Sounds reasonable enough. Anyway, the 121st U.S. Open is underway at Torrey Pines. After an early weather delay spanning 90 minutes was prompted by intense fog or somebody smoking a doobie. You have to do the bad jokes now before you can get the good jokes back in. There we go. The course cleared up, but it is playing more challenging and firm as the day wears on. Play is expected to go deep into the evening on the West Coast. Hey, Roberto, por favor, my brother, Mr. Bobby Strauss. X-Man, long time no see, brother. How about the WWE news I shared with you earlier? Crazy, but I think it's a rating grab. Thoughts? I will gladly sit that to the music here for you in a moment. Let's get the golf out of the way. We'll go wrestling, and we will tell you what Monsieur Strauss meant. But this is certainly, I'll tell you, this is certainly something to find out about. Yes. Early groups from the morning suggest their scores had to be had despite the tricks Torrey can present. However, Brooks Koepka, the two-time U.S. Open champion, is one of the few who maneuvered the track with ease, opening his weekend with a 269. And by the way, we have to hit the bell. 69 is a workable number, if you know what I mean. I think you do. Wink, wink. Russell Henley had a strong start, featuring 4 under and pacing the morning flight. Francisco Molinari and Rafa Cabrera Velo are 3 under. Looming in the evening is a number of the world's top golfers, led by reigning champion Bryson DeChambeau. Flunk. Who's again among the favorites? DeChambeau will try to deploy his hit it as far as humanly possible, find it, and hit it again strategy once again after doing so successfully last year at Winged Foot. Many other narratives will emerge too. U.S. Opens are chaotic, and this one will undoubtedly also fit that mold. Would you like to know who are leading after at least a portion? Let's go to a full leaderboard, guys. Bang that drum slowly. All right, here we go, kiddies and cadets. Russell Henley in a tie with Louis Oosthuizen. We have Rafa Cabrera Bello tied with Francisco Molinari in third. Xander Schauffele tied with Hideki Matsuma and Brooks Koepka and Hayden Buckley, and Sebastian Munoz tied in fifth. And there you go. Some of these folks aren't finished with their rounds. This is going to be fun for the next few days. But there you go, your U.S. Open. Now, before things can do, we do with things we do. Let's get to the booty. Here we go, folks. My man, Mr. Bobby Strauss, does a little thing that we like to call Sports Central. There we go. See? We get it. And he gave us this little breaking news that just came in. Hell in a Cell match with Reigns and Mysterio for the Universal Championship match official for Fox TV tomorrow night, not Sunday on pay-per-view. What do I think of this? Well, I'm going to say it. WWE is in some big-time trouble. They just, on one of the wrestling news sites, apparently a Saudi Arabian, not Saudi Arabia, but a stockholder is suing the WWE for a ton of money, and it has to do with Saudi Arabia. And we'll get to that in a little momentation. This is fun. Let's do this. Let's make this work. My thought is simple. The WWE is in a desperate fight for ratings, in a desperate situation too. And that desperate situation is they are losing ratings. They're losing a ton of ratings and getting a lot of executives very antsy. You got low ratings for Raw on the USA Network. You got NXT literally surviving against Impact. And AEW, which is not a Vince McMahon property, thank God for that. AEW still king of the ring. And I think the folks at Fox realize they got to do something because, let's face it, not exactly winning ratings yet. The WWE is hoping. I think this is going to be a little experiment. WWE wants something good to happen. I mean, let's face it, they sold the WWE Network lock, stock, and barrelhead to Peacock, to NBC Universal for multi-year contract, billions of dollars. They, again, low ratings. They've gotten rid of most of their good wrestlers. Some of them will wind up at either Ring of Honor or AEW or another biggie promotion that no one seems to be talking about yet, but we will. MLW or Azteca Underground. You're probably saying, wait a minute, what's that last thing? That Azteca Underground? Do you remember a show on the late lamented El Rey network called Lucha Underground? Matt Stryker and Vampiro were announcers. Well, folks at MLW, when El Rey went out of business, shut down shut down Azteca Underground. I think that's what it was. Yes, Azteca Underground. Or Lucha Underground, Lucha Underground. It all died out. But only the past few months, the guy that runs MLW had an idea. And this idea was very simple. He knew he had a success with MLW Fusion on BN TV or BN Sports, YouTube, and Roku, among other little platforms. He teased that there was going to be a second show. This man, Court Bauer is his name, is the most creative person in pro wrestling promotions. I mean, this guy is not like he whose name we will never mention on this show, if you know what I mean. Vince Russo. He has it well in his hands. He had this idea for a thing called Azteca Underground, for this mysterious Azteca Underground. And Selena and the manageress, Selena, was going to be somewhat a focus of it with this mysterious El Jefe. And I mean, they played this for fans like a movie. I mean, they went to Mexico to do some things with Mil Mascaras. And I mean, he orchestrated this to one last thing. Now, Selena De La Renta, there she is. There's the name. Thank you, Graves. Selena De La Renta's contract was up. And the announcers, I forget who they are, they teased that El Jefe would be here. Sure enough, who would show up to, shall we say, pass sentence on the failure of Selena De La Renta than Dario Cueto, the man in charge of the temple, which was known as Azteca, which was known as Lucha Underground. So now, and even the copyright tag at the end of MLW wasn't exactly MLW. It was for a couple, 3 or 4 shows, Azteca Underground. They signed a deal with Vice TV, and that started the wheels of motion going. What is it? I'm going to say it. July 10th, I do believe, is the new season of MLW. How much do you want to bet? And Bobby, I bring this to you. on a silver platter. How much do you want to bet? Vice TV, which you can watch on cable, I think on channel 106 or something on Comcast here in Jackson. How much you want to bet? Vice TV is going to air the reboot of Lucha Underground. It'll be known as Azteca Underground. And here's something else. You notice who's been missing from the announcing on Impact on Access TV and Twitch? Matt Stryker. I have a feeling Matt Stryker, Vampiro, you got the guy that plays Dario Cuerto. How much you want to bet? Vice TV. Not June 10th. July 10th is going to debut a Lucha Underground show type broadcast. This is thinking. This is thinking. But to get back to the previous thing, like I said, they're desperate to try to goose up the ratings. The Fox deal, that's slowly beginning to do a little unraveling. Yeah, Bobby Strauss said, I would not be surprised one bit that Azteca Underground returns to the airwaves. I have a feeling the season premiere of MLW that's coming up in July is going to reveal all, as it were. And I think you're going to see Azteca Underground, the reboot of Lucha Underground on Vice TV. It's going to be, if it happens, I will be shocked. And we'll be the first little show here to predict it. In fact, we do predict. Okay, let's get you some updates on the. Let's see. They did just bring Samoa Joe back to NXT as Regal's GM enforcement. So there's at least one former main roster star off the FA market. Yes. I will make this prediction. I will predict that Miro and I forgot the guy's name, so help me under sanity here. I think because he did say in his promotion on, I think it was last week or the week after Friday Night Dynamite, or a week before his Friday Night Dynamite, that why should people be jealous of him because, and he said, he has a title, he's got a body, but this is the line. This is the line that tells me Tony Khan is about to make Vince McMahon more unhappy. Miro mentioned, I also have a hot wife. That, to me, says Lana is going to be signed to a contract with AEW. And if she does, I look for her to be a part of the new and improved women's division. Bobby says, I see CJ Perry headed there myself. Yes. I don't see any more WWE people going to be in AEW because the people they have right now, they're already critics that are saying AEW has become WCW 2.0. No, it hasn't. AEW is becoming its own promotion, and they're doing it their own way. WCW wasn't really all together because AEW, if you watch AEW, they are slowly getting partnerships with New Japan Pro Wrestling and Impact Wrestling. Now, I wouldn't put it past them to get involved with one of the independent wrestling promotions, the ones that don't get the big airtime. I just get this feeling that Tony Khan is doing things right. He's listening to the fans. He knows a lot about the sport, being a fan himself. Bobby Strauss is speaking of promotions. His Global Force Wrestling, Risen from the Grave, their FB page has been updated within the last few weeks. I do not know. All I know is that if you look on YouTube, Google Global Force Wrestling, you'll see a couple of very interesting videos about the rise and fall of that organization. I don't know if it's going to come back. If it does, I don't think it's going to be exactly the same. They only had one show. There are some episodes of GFW Jack that never made the air. Only one did. That was on pay-per-view. But let's give you a little kumbaya here. AEW announced Julia Hart versus Penelope Ford for Friday's episode of Dynamite on TNT. Let's see. Yeah, Julia Hart with the Varsity Blondes. And by the way, I just want to get into more wrestling here. We'll go an extra 10 minutes here, talking here and doing the sports show. I think AEW did themselves a great thing by allowing Vice TV's Dark Side of the Ring. They promoted the hell out of that with Pillman, with Pillman's dad, to some great ratings for Vice, as usual. And this has really helped Brian Pillman Jr. a lot. And I haven't seen the documentary of China yet, but I have heard that is the most wildest. Also helps that Jericho is MC for the series. Yes, indeed. But I got to tell you, the one thing I want to see is that China documentary, because from what I have understood, it truly tells a tale of a woman that literally had it all. And all that talent went arrivederci. I think, and I'm just saying it, I think what Triple H did to China was sort of the catalyst of the downfall. And she was coming back. She was making that comeback. I mean, granted, she made some films, yes, blah, blah, blah. But she was on her way back. And then it just all went bye-bye. By the way, the Dark Side of the Ring ratings for Dynamite Kid episode, 242,000 viewers on Vice TV, according to Spoiler TV. Let's see. Brian Pillman, here we are. Brian Pillman Episode 272,000 viewers with a 0.09 rating in the 18 to 49 demo. Episode 2, Nick Gage, 163,000 viewers with a 0.07 rating. Episode 3, WCW Collision in Korea, not even accounted. Episode 4, The Ultimate Warrior, the most controversial episode. The wife even denounced it. The ratings were unavailable, didn't make the cable top 100. Grizzly Smith and his family, 243,000 viewers with a 0.09 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. Dynamite Kid, 242,000 viewers with a 0.11 rating. The next episode, episode 7, Ion Krotoru. It's going to be interesting to see. But right now, the second season, average 257,666 viewers per episode. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see here. By the way, the Bunny, on a recent episode of AEW Unrestricted, Allie, aka the Bunny, sat down with Aubrey Edwards, Tony Schiavone, to talk about her AEW journey so far. By the way, if you have not seen on YouTube, on the AEW YouTube channel, that episode, that edition of AEW Unrestricted, there is a spoiler, so we'll just point on that. Let's see. The Bunny character coincided with the debut of The Butcher and the Blade. Allie described what it meant to her to not only debut her new character, but also be there for her husband's The Blade's debut. And let's see. When I was able to reinvent myself as the Bunny, I got to take all the energy and all of those things that I was going through and inject them into the character, which I think helps make her more authentic because it was coming from a real place. I needed change. I desperately needed change. I feel like the Bunny, I guess she's a little crazy sometimes, but she's crazy for a reason. And I felt like creatively it helped me express some of those feelings I had. And I felt like it was time. I've been this super bubbly, happy persona. It was time to switch over. It was time to show a different side of myself as the Bunny. The Butcher and the Blade spoken in detail about the inspirations behind their characters. Allie described the influence behind the Bunny. And it's a combination of a lot of things, especially horror movies. One of my inspirations for the character came from The House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Reject. There's a character called Baby. So I drew a little inspiration from her. I drew some inspiration from another TV show that I love called The Vampire Diaries, and took some from the movie The Strangers. So there you go. And there's a lot more, but you gotta watch the interview, the AEW Unrestricted. It's on the AEW's YouTube page. Watch that for more from Allie. Okay. Man, we've talked wrestling, and we are at 12:24, so we're going beyond, kids. By the way, once again, our prayers as wrestling fans go to Don West as he fights a battle. Let's see here. Let's see. With lymphoma, I believe we had the. Let's see. West. Let's see, we got. Let's see. Yes. He has brain lymphoma. Thank you, Roberto. And we all hope for our good vibes, and our prayers go to Don West and his family. And he's hoping chemotherapy treatment will help him heal faster so he can get back on the radio. He works for News Radio 560 KPQ in Washington State. His show has been on hiatus as of late. Okay, and speaking of as of late, let's get you with some more sports. Don West is a great guy. Spent plenty of time with him over the years. Yes, sir, Bobby. And I just want to say this. I'm hoping when AEW starts to really get back, I hope they make a little stop in Michigan. Boy, am I hoping. Okay, speaking of which, let's get back to what we do best, and that is bringing you sports. And there is plenty of it. Let's go to it, shall we? Yes, sir. We go to it. It's Thursday. Well, it's actually Friday, but we go to this. European Championship Group B, Belgium over Denmark 2-1. Group C, Ukraine over North Macedonia 2-1. Netherlands over Austria 2-0. At the Copa America. Arriba! Colombia over Venezuela in Group B, tied goose eggs. International friendly, Algeria over Liberia, cha-cha-cha, 5-1. Women's international friendlies, USA over Nigeria, 2-0. On the streets of Brazil, Palmeiras over Juventude, 3-0. America Mineiro and Cuiabá and Triaba, goose eggs. We have an update on a score from the Tigers, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim update. Bobby Strauss doing good yeoman work. Yes, yeoman work that deal. And we'll just give you the last things here. Atletico Guiones and Fortaleza, goose eggs. Fluminense defeated Santos 1-0, and Sport over Grêmio by a score of 1-0. Tigers trail the Angels 7-4 in the 8th inning. Again, this is not on your local, not on Bally Sports West or Bally Sports Detroit. It is on YouTube. It's one of those, as they call it, exclusives that they air. Okay, let us go to minor league baseball. It's on the MLB YouTube channel, by the way. Thank you, Bobby. And let's get to the scores. Let's go AAA first. AAA, beep, beep. Bottom of the 8th inning, Reno over Albuquerque, 7-2. Top of the 7th inning, Salt Lake City over Sacramento, 9-1. Top of the 6th inning, it's Tacoma 9, Las Vegas 7. Final scores, Norfolk over Durham, 10-6. Buffalo over Rochester, 5-2. Worcester over Lehigh Valley, 3-2. Charlotte over Jacksonville, 9-3. What a way not to make a living. Scranton Wilkes-Barre over Syracuse, 4-2. Indianapolis over Memphis in 11, 3-2. Nashville over Gwinnett, 3-2. Columbus over Toledo, 8-2. Oklahoma City over Round Rock in a square hole, 6-2. Iowa over St. Paul, 12-2. Omaha over Louisville, 6-5. Sugar Land over El Paso, 8-5. All right, let's go from the triples to the doubles. Double A, beep, beep. Now we got it. All right, Corpus Christi over Frisco, 4-2. In the Tri-Nighter, first game, Frisco over Corpus Christi, 1-0. Reading over Harrisburg, 2-1. Hartford over New Hampshire, 10-6. Bowie over Akron, 4-3. Portland over Binghamton, 4-1. Tennessee over Chattanooga, 13-7. Somerset over Richmond, 9-3. Altoona, not as bad as Starkist Tuna. Altoona over Erie, 8-7. Biloxi over Rocket City, 9-1. Pensacola over Montgomery, the Biscuits, 5-3. Mississippi over Birmingham, Mississippi over Birmingham 7-1. Springfield da 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 da. Bobby says hoping for a Vegas comeback tonight since that has a connection now to Lansing. Yes, sir. Oakland A's. Springfield over Wichita 5-3. Northwest Arkansas or Northwest Arkansas beat up on San Antonio 10-3. Midland over Amarillo 13-4. Arkansas over Tulsa 5-3. And speaking of the Lugnuts, let's go to High A and tell you right now that Tri-City leads Spokane in the bottom of the 6th 5-2. Top of the 7th, Vancouver over Everett 9-5. What a way to make a living. Bottom of the 6th inning, Eugene leads Hillsboro by 1, 7-6. Final scores: Aberdeen, Aberdeen. Aberdeen over Asheville 9-8. Winston-Salem over Greensboro 5-3. Bowling Green over Rome. It was built in a day, 2-zip. Lake County over West Michigan 6-3. Wilmington over Brooklyn 8-4. Hudson Valley over the Jersey Shore 3-2. Greenville over Hickory 3-1. Lansing Lugnuts, viva la Lugnuts! Oh, it's Spanish Heritage Night at Jackson Field, so they are the Lansing Locos, not the Lansing Lugnuts, but the Lansing Locos went to Logo. Yeehaw, yeehaw! Over the Great Lakes Loons 4-3. Dayton over Fort Wayne 2-zip. Quad Cities over Wisconsin 13-3. Beloit over Peoria 6-2. Cedar Rapids over South Bend 12-4. And we go for one more. That's low A. Bottom of the 7th. Fresno over Stockton 11-3. Bottom of the 9th. We're going to call this one San Jose over Modesto 9-1. Top of the 9th. Inland Empire over Lake Elsinore 4-3. Final scores: Fort Myers over Lakeland 3-1. That was in the nightcap, but in the first game, Fort Myers beat Lakeland 9-4 in 7 innings. Yes. St. Lucie over Jupiter 7-3. Kannapolis over Down East 5-3. Carolina over Fayetteville 8-7. Palm Beach over Daytona 11-10. Charleston over Myrtle Beach 5-0. Lynchburg over Fredericksburg 5-3. Delmarva over Salem 5-1. Columbia over Augusta 5-4. Visalia over Rancho Cucamonga 11-4. Bradenton and Tampa were postponed. They'll make it up on June 18th. All right. We've done A, we've done B, we've done C. What comes next? D, as in we do. We got international, and then we'll wrap it up. It's somewhat easy. I say somewhat easy. Just got a little live sport to do, and let's pop her. Let's pop it in the oppa. Okay, here we go. Okay, thank you. In European soccer action, Ukraine over North Macedonia 2-1. Belgium over Denmark 2-1. Netherlands over Austria 2-1. We've already done the Copa America. Colombia and Venezuela scoreless. Brazil over Peru 4-0. Let's get you over to. You want to do some updates? Yeah. Okay, in the 7th inning, Tampa Bay Rays lead the Seattle Mariners 5-4. 9th inning, we're going to call this one a final. 7-4 Los Angeles Angels over the Detroit Tigers. In South Korea, the Korean Baseball Organization, let's give you those scores. Doosan Bears over Samsung Lions 6-2. Winning pitcher for Doosan, Choi Won-jun. He's 8-0. Loser for Samsung, Cho Chae-hoon. He's 2-4. Lodi Giants over the Hanwha Eagles 9-2. Jin Moon Ho for the Giants 1-0. He got the win. Kim Kai-jung for the Eagles 0-2. SSG Landers over the Kia Tigers 6-3. Kim Tai-hyung for the Landers gets the win. He's 1-0. Park Jun-pyo gets lost for Tigers. He's 2-2. Twins over the LG Twins over the Kaiwoom Heroes 6-5. Jun Woo Young got the win for Twins. He's 3-2. Kim S for the Heroes gets lost. He's 1-1. Dinos over the Swan. NC Dinos over the KT Wiz Swan 9-1. Rusinski got the win for the Dinos. He's 7-3. And Despagin for the Wiz got the loss. He's 6-5. Let's see. I think that's about it. My God. Oh, speaking of Jackson Field, Bobby Strauss gives us one more little linky dink, and that is Michigan Baseball Hall of Fame Class of 2020 induction is Friday night. Former Michigan quarterback Drew Henson and late manager Bob Miller will be among those to be enshrined. And I am glad to say that we are very close to having everything lifted. I think it's the 22nd that, folks, we have, yes, friends, we'll be free. And I do believe June 22nd. Freedom. It feels good, don't it? Yeah, it does. Okay, we have done it. We have done it. It has been a thrill. It's been an honor. It's been a deeply demented pleasure. It's a Friday night. And by the way, please remember, go to Indiegogo.com and support some great independent comic book authors, writers, artists. And do we have a chance? Do we have a chance shot here? Including, of course, my favorite, and it's gotten about $15,000 already in the coffers. Wart the Wizard 2. Support independent comics. They are the saviors of an industry that was near demise. Folks like Mandy Summers, Peter Gilmore, John Madeline, Anthony, and Wyatt Holliday, Dean Flores. There you go. Some more good stuff. And yes, friends, Queen Barron, Mulrooney, Martins, and Salazar, Florida Man. That's right, baby. Florida Man. And we got one more. Oh, yeah. Of course, Rocket Gal and the Mole Men from Mars. Support these folks. Go to Indiegogo. These are some very talented individuals. They got some great comic books. And do we have oh yeah. And to the man of Dark Gift Comics, Anthony Romano, still the best. Still the best. Support your independent comics. Because these folks are the future of the industry. They are saving it for future folks. They're good. They are good. Especially Mandy Summers, the woman that created Wart the Wizard. She created it from bedtime stories she would read to her children. She is very talented. So are the rest of the folks of Comicsgate. So please go to Indiegogo.com and support these fine men and women who have literally saved the comics industry from certain demise and death. I support independent comics. They are good. And they're great reading. Especially this Cyber Frog. I've also got Super Dead. we're going to see. Where is Super Dead, guys? Somewhere around here is Super Dead. Okay, so we're going to showcase more people. Let's see. Florida Man. What the Wizard. Of course, Johnny Phantasm. And Hybrids. Hybrids. Great reading materials. Yes, indeed. Great. And of course, X-Farce. I'm going to show you all these. Because I love to. And yes, Super Dead. One of the best from Peter Gilmore. Who, along with Mandy Summers, they got let's see, there's Pirate Queen coming up. They've also got, by the way, Angels beat Tigers 7-5. Taylor Ward Grand Slam, the only hit of the ball game for Mr. Ward. But please support these people. Independent comics. Go to Indiegogo and do that, and it'll make you feel good. Back them, get some perks, and it's pure dynamite, my friends. It's pure dynamite. Thank you, everybody, to Bobby Strauss, to LDG, to my good friend Miss Mandy Summers, and to Wyatt Holliday, Peter Gilmore, John Matlin, EVS, and everybody else. My God, it's 12:43. We've done it. This has been a very special evening. We'll see you all tomorrow night at 11:30 Eastern, right here on the L2C Media Network. Until then, thank you all very much for watching. For my announcer, Harold von Stuttgart, and a cast of about 2 or 3 from the Fred McLeod Sports Desk, or at least the annex therein, because we're getting our studio set up in the other room. That'll be the place for me. Yay! But anyway, between now and then, we're here. For everybody here, for my mom, for everybody watching, for my friends everywhere in this world, for Bobby Strauss, everybody involved, Steve the Baxman Baxley. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports and YouTube. We will see you and talk to you tomorrow. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Mwah. We love you. Keep the faith, keep the peace, and keep reading them comics, folks. They are good, especially the indies. Good night, everybody.